When the world seems to be going slower after the entry of BTS members into their military service, nothing touches the hearts of the army more than a small surprise that comes in early April 2025. No promotional hype, no long teaser, just a simple notification that appears on the screen of millions of fans. Bangtan has uploaded a new video. The title is simple: Taehyung and Jungkook, Studio Gokul Behind Moments. But within seconds of the video being uploaded, the YouTube platform was almost paralyzed as the number of views skyrocketed. Not only because of the shock, but because of the longing that has been buried so deeply in two of the brightest young stars of their generation, Kim Taehyung and Jungkook. The video was an explosion of happiness. It's not fancy, it's not directed by a big name, and it doesn't use cutting-edge CGI effects as is common in world-class K-pop content. But precisely in its simplicity, the video holds everything fans love about these two BTS members: authenticity, antics, togetherness, and most importantly, a love that never changes, no matter the time or distance separating. At the beginning of the video, the camera highlights the bright but warm atmosphere of the studio. Without warning, Taehyung enters the frame with a beige oversized hoodie, a plain face without makeup, and a tired expression but a smile that remains charming. Jungkook followed from behind with a seatball hairstyle that made fans immediately remember the golden times of Golden Magne, while still appearing on the variety show Carefree. "You sing first," Jungkook shouted, accompanied by a small laugh that was like music to the ears of the audience. Taehyung, with his trademark slightly eccentric but charming style, retorted, "If I go first, you should dance on the table." They laughed. Not fabricated, not engineered. Laughter that seemed to take all the audience into an intimate private space, where two best friends, or perhaps more precisely two brothers, shared a small moment that meant a lot. They begin to sing an unreleased song, a melodic piece that sounds like a mix of lo-fi and jazz, with Taehyung's hoarse voice blending perfectly with Jungkook's soft falsetto. There is no perfect harmonization, but it is precisely those imperfections that make it so honest and touching. The word Gokul, used in the title of the video, was not a random choice. It wasn't just about them doing funny things like playing drums using empty plastic bottles or chasing each other in the studio with colorful wigs on their heads. Gokul, in this context, is a symbol of their freedom, of the fact that even though they are global megastars, they can still be Taehyung and Jungkook, two young people who just want to have fun amid the pressures of the world. One of the most viral moments in the video was when Jungkook tried to imitate Taehyung's vocal style in the song Singularity. He stood in front of the camera, closed his eyes, then began to sing the opening part in a deep voice and exaggerated dramatic expression. "If this is how I sing, the army will run away," Jungkook said with a laugh. Taehyung was no less hilarious, trying to imitate Jungkook's style during high-intensity vocal training, demonstrating a serious expression with a sharp gaze into the microphone. Their laughter didn't just spread in the room. Their laughter was infectious to the millions of army watching from different parts of the world, from Seoul to Santiago, from Jakarta to Johannesburg. One of the reasons why this video has become so special is because it is so spontaneous. There is no script. There is no long narrative. Only two best friends let the camera capture their most human sides, the most vulnerable and the most honest. Taehyung, often dubbed the visual of the century, appears without makeup and without a pose. He's not trying to look perfect. He yawns in front of the camera, scratches his head, even sings in a hoarse voice at the beginning. But it is precisely in those imperfections that the charm is felt deeper. More real. Jungkook is similar. With baggy clothes, messy hair, and jokes that come out uncensored, she's not trying to be a star. It just becomes itself, and in the process, it shows why it's called golden. This video proves that their charm is not the result of polish or mass production. They fascinate precisely when not trying to fascinate. More than just entertainment content, this video became a kind of visual love letter. Not only from Taehyung and Jungkook to ARMY, but also from them to each other. There is a quiet moment in the video, around the 7th minute, where the camera just records the two of them sitting side by side, listening to the recorded result of the song they just sang. There is no dialogue. Just a quick look, a small smile, and one simple gesture. Jungkook leaned his head against Taehyung's shoulder. It was not a dramatic moment. No background music. There is no slow-motion effect. But for anyone who has followed their journey for more than a decade, it's a heart-shaking moment. That's how deep their bond is. How much this togetherness is not the result of an industrial contract, but of the experience of living together, of the joys, sorrows, stages, rehearsals, and loneliness that they lived together. Well, here's a follow-up to the in-depth narrative article. BTS's Taehyung and Jungkook go crazy in the latest video. We move on to chapters 6 through chapter 10, deepening the meaning, context, and reactions that emerge from the video. The studio where they shot this video was not a grandiose space with dazzling state-of-the-art equipment. On the contrary, the atmosphere feels like someone's private room, warm, homely, and full of memories. In one corner, there was a small doll that had been seen on their V-Live broadcast. On the other side, there is a graffiti board with sweet messages from the staff, and in the middle of the room, two young people sat cross-legged on the wooden floor, sharing their stories with the world without complicated words. Taehyung pointed to one of the abstract paintings on the wall and said, "It was Jungkook who drew the picture when we were on tour in Europe." Jungkook grins, "I actually accidentally spilled paint, and then I decided to make art." That little laugh felt like a flashback to the thousands of moments they had shared together. Everything in the room had a story. Every corner has a memory. And this video invites the audience to come sit in that space, come breathe the same air, come feel close. It's not just visually close, it's emotionally close, because there's rarely any content that gives you direct access to the world in BTS like this. One strength of these videos is how natural and free they are. At some point, it seems that Taehyung and Jungkook completely forgot that they were being recorded. The camera becomes just a passive observer, no interruptions, no instructions. There was a moment when they were sitting while waiting for the sound mixing, and Taehyung picked up a notebook. Jungkook interrupted quietly, "Hyung, do you still like to write poetry?" Taehyung nodded, then without being asked to read a verse. The stanza is simple. "You are a blue sky that is not always bright. This is where the birds come home." There is no accompanying music, only a soft, quiet voice enveloped. This moment made thousands of comments appear in different languages, from heartwarming to crying for no reason. They're not actors. They are not idols who are selling images. They are just two people who share each other and do not realize that the world is watching lovingly. Chapter 8. Virality that is not just a trend. In less than 24 hours, the video broke 30 million views, trending in over 50 countries. The hashtag Taehyung Studio Gokul took first place on Twitter, X, and funny footage from the video began to spread on TikTok, Instagram Reels, to the Discord ARMY community. But there is one interesting point. The virality of this video is not due to hype, controversy, or marketing strategy. It went viral for authenticity. Because of the warmth. Because everyone, whether they're an old ARMY or a new audience, feels like they're watching something sincere and very human.